All praises to the Most High Yah, the one I call Dad. Today I'd like to talk about Jeremiah 18. I'd like to read through it with you and see if we can get a deeper meaning of what this is talking about. The title to it here in Bible Hub, they call it The Potter and the Clay. But I'm going to show you what Jeremiah 18 is talking about. It's the power difference between the potter and the clay. How much more powerful is our Creator than we are? We all think we're smart. We all think we know it all. But let's see Dad explain to Jeremiah the difference in the potter and the clay. Let me scroll down here a little bit. This is the word that came to Jeremiah from Dad. Once you learn the Creator's name, he says, call no one on earth Father except for me. Well, I know that Father is a perverse word. So I chose the word Dad. So when I read and you see me use the word Dad instead of this pagan word, you'll understand why. But moving forward, go down at once to the potter's house, and there I will reveal my message to you. So I went down to the potter's house, and I saw him working at the wheel. But the vessel that he was shaping from the clay became flawed in his hand. Right in the midst of his hand, it became messed up. So the potter began to form it into another vessel, as it seemed best for him to do with what he had left. It had messed up, so he's going to form something else out of it. Then the word of Dad came to him, saying, O house of Yisrael, declares Dad, can I not treat you as this potter treats his clay? He said how easy it is for him to move things around, just like the clay in the potter's hand. So are you in my hand, O house of Yisrael? He's talking to you, each and every one of us. He's saying, are you in my hand to where I can do with you what this potter is doing with this clay? At that time, I might announce that a nation or kingdom will be uprooted, torn down, and destroyed. Let's say he just picks a nation to be destroyed. It's going to happen, is what he's saying. But if that nation I warned turns from its evil, then I will relent of the disaster I had planned to bring. So if a nation would turn and start obeying him, he says, I would change my mind and not destroy it. Now, we need to listen very close to his words and what he says. Let's see what we can see out of that. And if another time I announce that I will build up, maybe like a new kingdom, and establish a nation or kingdom, and if it does evil in my sight and does not listen to my voice, then I will relent of the good I have intended for it. He's saying I will change my mind. I meant good for it, but if they do evil in my sight, I'll change my mind. Now, therefore, tell the men of Yehudah and the residents of Yeshurun that this is what Dad says. Behold, I am planning a disaster. I think we all know what disaster means. For you. Well, who's he talking about? Maybe it's you that's listening to this video and devising a plan against you. Who's you? Turn now, right now, each of you, from your evil ways and correct your ways and your deeds. Well, what's he talking about? What ways? What does Dad think is evil ways? But let's continue on. But they, is he talking about you? Will reply, it is hopeless. We will follow our own plans, and each of us will act accordingly to the stubbornness of his evil heart. The heart, the most wicked of all. Who can understand it? Listen. Therefore, this is what Dad says. Inquire among the nations. Who has ever heard things like these? Virgin Israel has done a most terrible thing. Does the snow of Lebanon ever leave its rocky slopes? Or do its cool waters flowing from a distance ever run dry? Yet my people have forgotten me. Have you forgotten him and worshiping maybe somebody like Jesus or somebody like that? Is he not the creator? Who have we forgotten? Well, we've forgotten the creator. Most don't even know his name is Yah. Most think his name is Jesus. They burn incense to worthless idols. Maybe like dead Jesus is on crosses. Maybe that's what he's talking about, worthless idols. That make them stumble in their ways. He's talking about make them stumble into lawlessness. Because see, the Christians think Jesus just forgive them for their sins. So, I mean, if pork's eating bad, Jesus will forgive us for it. Don't worry about it. Leaving the ancient roads. He's talking about the laws at Mount Sinai. Are you obeying what they were supposed to obey at Mount Sinai? To walk on the rutted bypass instead of on the highway to hell, Christianity. They have made their land a desolation, a perpetual object of scorn, abortion, strip joints, casinos, Donald Trump. All who pass by will be appalled and shake their heads. What he's bringing on this land will make the Arabs appalled when they walk by and shake their head like, I'm glad that wasn't us. I will scatter them before the enemy like the east wind. He's talking about China, Russia, South Korea. He's going to scatter the Americans. They're going to go into captivity into these other nations like China and Russia. Dad says, I will show them my back. He's going to turn his back on you because you love to eat swine and you didn't want to keep his fourth commandment and keep the Sabbath day holy and not make my face in the day of their calamity. So all you Americans that think you don't have to obey the Torah, this is what Dad's going to do to you on the day of your destruction. He's going to turn his back. He's going to look the other way and just let it happen. He's going to let Russia and China have their way with you. Another plot against Jeremiah. Then some said, "Come, let us make plans against Jeremiah, for the Torah will never be lost to the priest." They're saying Jeremiah's he's going to obey the Torah regardless. "Nor counsel to the wise, nor an oracle to the prophet. Come, let us denounce him and pay no heed of his words." This is what your Christian friends is going to come to you and tell you about the words that I'm speaking to you through the Bible. They're going to say, don't pay attention to him. Just because he can calculate Jesus equals 666, cross equals 666, gospel equals 666, and Lucifer equals 666. When I come to you with proof like that, your little Christian buddies are going to come up to you and say, "Come, let us make him, he's a liar, he's teaching something crazy. Pay no heed to any of his words." That's what you Christian pastors are going to tell you when you come to them and ask them about the things that I'm showing you. "Attend to me, O Yahuwah. Hear what my accusers are saying." That's what I'm saying to Dad right now. Listen to what them Christians are saying about me, Dad. "Should good be repaid with evil? Yet they have dug a pit for me. Remember how I stood before you to speak good on their behalf, to turn your wrath from them." Dad, Dad knows I've asked him to turn his wrath away from people, relatives of mine, because they won't heed this warning about obeying his laws. "Therefore hand their children over to famine. Put out the power of the sword upon them." He's saying, let their children starve, and let the enemies war on them. "Let their wives become childless and widows." Is this the character that you were taught in your Christian churches? Can you believe that this kind of talk is allowed in the kingdom? "Let their wives become childless and widowed. Let their husbands be slain by CV-19, by plagues. Their young men struck down by a gun in war. Let a cry be heard from their houses when you suddenly bring raiders against them." China, Russia, South Korea. "For they have dug a pit to capture me, and have hidden snares for my feet. But you, Dad, know all their deadly plots against me. Do not wipe out their guilt, or blot out their sin from your sight. Let them be overthrown before you. Deal with them in time of your anger." Does it sound like Jeremiah's praying for his enemy? Or should I say, praying for prosperity for his enemy? Or could he be praying for the destruction of his enemy? It's time you Christians woke up. You must get away from your pastors. Scripture says that we've all inherited lies from our forefathers. These guys inherited lies and passed them on down to you. You must get in the scripture and read it for yourself. You will see the true meaning of these words, especially if you will change this word to dad. Learn to speak to him from a son-dad relationship. But I encourage all of you to know that he's bringing destruction to the head of the snake. He's going to kill the head of the snake. It's America. Donald Trump is the Antichrist. Look at my other videos. Tons and tons of proof. So much proof I can't get it all out. Trump is the Antichrist. The beast of Revelation. But I'll keep the video short. Shalom, Barak Yahuwah. In the twinkle of an eye, our redemption will happen. In between blinks of your eye is when it'll happen. But be sure, if you haven't, hit the like button, hit the like or dislike, and if you liked what you seen or what you heard, hit the subscribe button, as I'm trying to get geared up to get more content out. But thanks for watching, and shalom.